everybody, and welcome to Enjoy English. I am your host, Shane.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Like this? Hi, 大家好. 大家好. Okay, today we are looking at an article. It's called Dates.
Dates.
Not dates like go on a date.
Date?
We're not going to go dating, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Not now, after.
Okay.
Dates, a fruit rooted in history and health.
原来是这个 dates， 原来 Shane 老师讲的不是我们两个等一下要去约会这件事，讲的是一种水果。Okay, got it.
Got it. Okay, so it's a fruit rooted in history and health. So if you say it's rooted in history and health, it just means that it has this kind of a background. Yeah, it's rooted in it. You can imagine the roots of a plant or something, so they hold it into the ground. And you go down and you see deep down inside, this is what figs are all about. They're rooted, they have all kinds of history, and they have lots of healthy benefits, right?
对，所以老师刚才讲这个 rooted in 就是指呢，它这个东西的根部啊，哈，已经在深源哈，源自在什么地方？所以呢，我们如果今天讲一种水果呢，它是这个有很深很深的历史跟健康，就是表示它有很悠久的历史跟健康。
Okay, and it's the subtitle is a superfood from the desert to dining tables.
哦，好棒哦！今天讲的是一种超级食物哦，而且这个食物是从 desert 从沙漠里面，现在呢可以到我们的餐桌上面来食用了。
Awesome. Let's get into today's lesson.
好的。
Dates, a fruit rooted in history and health. What plant has been grown for thousands of years and is even mentioned in religious texts? It is the date palm, one of the world's oldest and most valuable crops. Since ancient times, the sweet fruit called dates has been an important food source for civilizations across the world. Date palms can reach up to 30 meters in height and can live for more than 100 years with proper care. They are widely grown in dry regions, such as Northern Africa, the Middle East, and the desert regions of Southern California. Because they can survive dry conditions and grow in both hot and cool climates, date palms quickly spread to other parts of the world. Each date palm can produce thousands of fruits every year, making them an economical crop. Dates are rich in a variety of vitamins and minerals, and are often dried before eating, which allows them to be stored for long periods. However, since they are dried fruit, they are high in calories. They also provide plenty of fiber, contain cancer-preventing antioxidants, and can even improve brain health.
Okay, so we're talking. Do you like dates?
Yeah, of course.
Not going on dates.
No. I know. I got it.
You like dates?
Yeah, I like fruit.
Dates are delicious.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this special fruit. What plant has been grown for thousands of years and is even mentioned in religious texts? Oh, I think we have a pretty good idea. I think they already gave it away. Gave away the answer before. So they're beginning by asking us, oh, what's the fruit? It's been grown for thousands of years and it's even mentioned in religious texts. But we should already know because we read the title. Right?
也是.
It would be very weird if they said, oh, it's strawberries.
No.
Oh, it's oranges.
对啦，所以这个第一个句子虽然它是用一个问句开头，可是我们刚才前面已经看过这一个文章的 topic 了，所以我们就已经大概猜出来这个食物这种水果到底是什么了。所以它一开始是说哪一种植物啊，它已经一直的被种植，所以这边的 grow 变成 grown， 它是种植的意思，而且是好几千年哦，栽种了好几千年，而且甚至呢，在一些所谓的宗教的text， 我们知道这个 text 就是指一些它的经典啊，宗教的一些经典或文献里面曾经被提到，到底是哪一种植物呢？
It is the date palm, one of the world's oldest and most valuable crops. Now, a crop is something that you plant in the ground, and then once it grows, you take all of that's been grown, all of the fruit or all of the grain or whatever that you get is called a crop. So a crop is basically a bunch of, could be fruits, it could be grains, it could be vegetables. We call those crops.
没错，老师刚刚解释就是 crop 这个字叫农作物嘛。那农作物呢，当然我们就把它种在田里面啦，然后等到它时机成熟的时候呢，你就会把它收成回来。对，所以呢，我们现在要讲的这样子的一种被栽种的数千年的植物呢，其实它就叫野枣树，这是它的中文的一种说法。那野枣树呢，它其实呢是全世界最古老的一种这个树农作物之一，好 ，one of 记得那个对
yes.
其中之一，所以那个 crop 要记得加 s， 而且呢，它也是这么多的这些有价值的农作物之一，所以你的 crops 通通都要加 s。这个 valuable 就是 precious。precious 表示它非常的有价值的意思。
Yes, very, very valuable and precious.
Yeah.
Since ancient times, the sweet fruit called dates has been an important food source for civilizations across the world. Right? So, since ancient times, ancient just means old times.
Yeah.
Times before modern times, we call those ancient times. But there's not an exact date that makes something ancient. Maybe we could say it's 5,000 BC. Some people might say, oh, it's 3,000 BC. But ancient just means a very long time ago.
Yeah. 对，所以呢，这边讲的是自古以来，所以刚刚老师有解释，并不是说这个野枣呢是一个很古代的那个水果，我们不是这个意思，而是说这个水果流传至今，很久很久以前就开始流传来了，所以自古以来呢，这一个我们称之为这个野枣的，它是一个甜甜的这种果实呢，其实它一直以来都是相当重要的食物的 source 的来源，尤其是对于什么来说它是很重要的这个食物的来源呢？ Civilizations， 我们知道 civilization 就是指我们文明的社会里面，好，而且是 across the world， 就是不是只有在一个地区，是全世界你的文明的社会里面重要的这个食物的来源都是这个野枣。
Sounds pretty important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break and we'll be right back.
好的。
Okay, so we found out that the fruit, the date, comes from a plant called the date palm, right?
Palm, yeah.
So it comes from a kind of a palm tree or a palm plant.
Yeah.
Same difference, I guess, right? A plant is smaller than a tree usually when we think about it. But anyway, it comes from a plant. And it's a fruit that has been enjoyed for thousands of years,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so let's continue and find out a little bit more about these dates. Okay, date palms can reach up to 30 meters in height and can live for more than 100 years with proper care.
Wow.
Wow.
It's long.
They can live a long time. They can live longer than humans if they're
Yeah.
cared for properly. So 30 meters in height, height is just how tall something is.
Yes.
That's what the height of something is. So they're 30 meters tall. So instead of saying 30 meters tall, you can say 30 meters in height.
没错，所以这边老师解释是高度的意思，所以你除了可以用这个片语 in height，in 后面要记得接的是名词，那么另外我们可以用 tall， 它有这么高，所以呢，这个叫做椰枣树，它到底有多高呢？他说它可以 reach 就是一直往上面的发展，一直长 up to 一直长到大概有30公尺这么样的高。
That's like 10-story building.
哎呀，那差不多10层9、8到10层楼这么高啦，所以确实是非常非常的高大的一种树。然后呢，甚至呢，它不但是高大，它的寿命也很长，它可以活到几岁呢？超过100年啊，所以它的时间可以寿命超过100年。但是呢 ，with 你一定要有怎么样 proper care？ 什么叫 proper？Right care.
Correct
对，
care.
你要照顾它，要好好的照顾它，你不能就是因为它
乱照顾，
对，你不可以随便不给它浇水啦，或者是怎么样的种植。所以呢，如果你只要 take care of 这个所谓的 date palms， 那它呢就可以长到这么高，而且它可以活到超过100年。
Yay, cool. Okay, they are widely grown in dry regions, such as northern Africa, the Middle East, and the desert regions of Southern California, where I am from, SoCal.
他的家乡
SoCal, Southern California. Yes, that's Los Angeles.
Yeah， 没错，对。所以呢，这个椰枣树呢，我们台湾就不好意思没有办法长了。
Sorry, not dry enough here.
对，
Too wet.
是的，我们太湿了。好，所以呢，这样子的一个椰枣树呢，它是可以 widely grown， 所以它可以广泛的被种植。可是呢，只有在我们刚才讲比较干燥的地区。好，所以干燥的地区呢，下面有举例说明啦，比如说第一个可能是北非啦，或者是中东啦，再来就是 Shane 老师的家乡啦，像 LA 这些地方，南加州的地方。尤其是它是一些 desert region， 记得这个字是沙漠的意思，念法要念对，念成 desert。好，那住在这个就是有沙漠地区，你才能种植这个椰枣树。
Right. Okay, continuing.
Okay.
Because they can survive dry conditions and grow in both hot and cold climates, date palms quickly spread to other parts of the world. Okay, so they can survive just means if you survive, that means you can keep on living. That's what survival is. You keep living and living and living. So they can survive in dry conditions and in both hot and cold climates. Climate is just the weather, the type of weather, and especially with respect to the temperatures. We will say the climate here is maybe wet, the climate here is dry, it's cold, it's hot. So climate has to do with the weather conditions.
没错，好，所以这个句子就是说，这个椰枣树呢，它其实只要是在干燥的这个情况底下 conditions， 它其实都可以 survive， 它都可以存活下来的。而且不管你今天你的气候呢是热的还是冷的，对它来讲其实都可以，只要你是干燥的就好。它的强调就是一定要干燥，一定要 dry。对，那你很热很冷都可以长。所以呢，这个所谓的椰枣树，它就很快的就在其他世界的各个地区呢，通通都迅速的开始传播了。所以你只要是干燥区，你不管你很热，你还是很冷，都可以的。
Yeah, no problem, right? And then it's spread, so it's spread to other parts of the world. This word spread, it just means to go from one place to another place.
Yeah.
And to kind of grow out and spread is kind of like this motion, if you're looking at the video right now, kind of to spread.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, that's what spread means. Okay, continuing. Each date palm can produce thousands of fruits every year, making them an economical crop. Wow, so they can produce thousands of fruits every year. That's pretty impressive. That's just one date palm. One date palm. So that's making them an economical crop. So if something is economical, that means that it's very good value for money, right? So it gives you a lot of money from one plant. Right? So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah， 没错，所以他最后一句话就讲出了这个重点，就是每一棵的这个椰枣树呢，它的产量非常的可观。他说它每一年呢可以 produce， 就是 yield。yield 表示生产的意思，你可以生产好几千棵的果实，每一年哦，你就要种一棵椰枣树。好，然后不管呢，这个只要天气是干燥的，好，那你要种在冷的、种在热的都可以。一棵椰枣树就有好几千颗的果实，所以呢 ，making 这边加了 ing， 当然我们知道是指上面这件事情，也就是它每一年可以产出好几千颗果实这件事，使得这些them 就是指这些这个椰枣树呢，变成了相当怎么样 economical， 我们知道这个字就是很经济实惠的意思。什么叫经济实惠？刚刚老师不是解释，就可以让你赚很多钱的。你种一棵就一堆的这几千个果实在那边。
You don't have to spend a lot of money and you get money back.
你就可以有很大的这个回报了，对不对？所以这个农作物真是太经济实惠了。
It's an amazing. It is really a superfruit, huh?
真的是 superfood.
Okay, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
好的。
Okay, so we've been talking about this fruit called the date, and basically that it grows on a date palm, how big this tree is, how much fruit it can yield, but we haven't really talked about a date itself, right? Well, let's find out a little bit about the date, okay? So dates are rich in a variety of vitamins and minerals and are often dried before eating, which allows them to be stored for long periods. So when we say they are rich in a variety of vitamins or minerals, that means there are a lot of vitamins and minerals. So if you say something is rich in something else, that means that it has a lot of something. Yeah.
没错。好，所以这个句子呢，开始讲到椰枣本身了。刚刚Shane老师说，我们一直在讲椰枣树，那枣子本身呢？椰枣本身是什么呢？好，它有什么好处呢？我们为什么叫它叫超级食物呢？好，就是因为第一个，它呢有着很丰富的各式各样的 a variety of， 就是 all kinds of 的什么东西呢？维生素，还有呢这个矿物质，这里面它都非常的富含这些东西，而且甚至呢，它要在吃之前呢，通常我们要先把它 dried， 要先把它弄干燥。好，那你才能够吃这个所谓的这个椰枣，而且还有一个重点是呢，因为它已经干燥了，所以这些椰枣呢，你要把它怎么样呢 ？allows them 就可以让这些椰枣可以长期的被 stored 被储存，长期，因为它已经干燥了。
Yeah. So as long as you store them in a dry, cool place, usually. They can last for a long time. Like I have dates in my house that I've probably had for like a year.
Oh, okay.
And they're still edible. So it really is incredible how long they will last. And they taste best, I think, when they are dried. So it's the ideal way to eat them. It's not just like, well, you can dry them if you want to keep them for a long time. Actually, I think they're most delicious when they're dried.
对，老师认为就是说，当它是干燥的时候呢，其实吃起来是最好吃的。
Yeah, they're a great snack.
Yeah.
Okay. However, since they are dried fruit, they are high in calories.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
So if something is high in calories or you're high in something, that just means you have a lot of that thing. So, in other words, they have a lot of calories. The number of calories is high.
对，但是我老师刚刚说没关系啦，就是 exercise more，OK， 多运动就好了啦。
Or just don't eat so many of them. Just have a couple, you know. You don't need to be a pig and eat the whole bag of them, you know, like me, make them last for like a whole year.
对，所以也不用就一口气吃了这么多啦哈。所以呢，它唯一有一个小缺点啦，这个小缺点是什么呢 ？However，因为呢这些椰枣呢，它们就是干燥类的这样的一种水果，所以呢，当你把水果压干的时候呢，它就会出现一样东西，就是说，它的热量 也相当的 high， 也相当的高了。
Because it just takes out all the water, it makes it small. So you think it's a small little thing, so shouldn't have very many calories, but actually it's all calories because it's dried. No water in there that just takes up the space. But that's not necessarily bad. You said 就是说小小的缺点，其实不一定是缺点。
Okay.
That could be good. It could be good that something is high in calories.
Yes,
you know?
yes, that's true.
Nothing wrong with calories as long as you don't.
We need calories every day.
Yeah, so it's high in calories. Could be a good thing depending maybe where you live in the world or what kind of society you're in, how much food you need or calories that you need to put into your body. It could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
They also provide plenty of fiber, contain cancer-preventing antioxidants, and can even improve brain health. Super! That's all I have to say. So you get plenty of fiber. If you use plenty of something, again, it means a lot of something. It's as much as you need or more than you need is plenty. So if I give you plenty of money, the idea...
Great. I'd love to.
You would like that, right? Because it would mean a lot of money,
Yes.
right? So there are plenty of fiber. They have antioxidants, and antioxidants are well known to prevent cancer. You can find antioxidants in a lot of different fruits, like blueberries are pretty famous for, or vegetables as well, right? Exactly, right. So, and improve your brain health so you can be even smarter. You eat these things, you become smart. As long as you don't eat too many, you stay thin.
没错啦，所以刚刚我们就讲了，虽然说呢它的热量是有点高，对不对？但是呢它也不算是一个很大的缺点，只是说呢你不要吃太多就好了嘛。所以接下来又讲到哇它的一些让我们觉得 amazing 的一些这个优点，就是他说同时呢这些野枣还可以提供大量 plenty of， 我们刚刚讲 plenty of 就是 a lot of， 就是很多很多的。它后面可以接可数名词，也可以接不可数的名词。它可以提供大量的纤维质，而且它里面还有怎么样的 cancer preventing， 就是能够预防癌症的。我们为什么把这个 prevent 加 ing， 因为它变成形容词啊，去形容后面的这个所谓的抗氧化物。我们知道呢，我们人类吃一些抗氧化物会让我们变得年轻。有活力，有没有啊？不管是水果啊、蔬菜里面，其实多多少少会有这一些所谓的抗氧化物。可是它是大量的这些都有，好，所以它里面包含的这些所谓的，等于是 disease fighting， 这种抗病毒、抗病的这样的一些抗氧化物，而且甚至呢，它可以让你大脑变得健康，就像刚刚Shane老师说，你会变聪明哦。
Okay, that's all the information we have for day 1.
Yes.
But be sure to come back for day 2 because we've got even more to tell you about this superfruit.
That's true.
The date.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.